Hey everybody, it's Saturday. I've been listening to the Jason Cisneros growth or Chairman Project podcast, soon to be called Built to Exit podcast. All right, and so it was good information today. It really stimulated my mind, especially with what I come across all the time. And it just happened recently. I've had a couple people come at me that I talked to a year and a half, 2 years ago, and they need to do something that is either be hard to do right now because they didn't do what I told them to do a year and a half, 2 years ago, or now they're seeing the reason why they need to do what I told them they needed to do a year and a half, 2 years ago. Okay, which tells you something. So I'm listening to this. This is the third time today I've listened to this podcast, and so first thing that caught my attention the second time I'm listening to it is the relationship. So when you have a business and you have customers and you want to sell your business, your potential buyers want to know your relationship with your customers. What does that mean? Are they loyal customers? Are they continuous customers? Are they they give you referrals? They give you they promote you on LinkedIn, whatever, right? They do you have a good rapport with your client database? Do they believe in you? Do they are they an asset for you? That's what he's pretty much saying. Okay, so if someone's going to buy your business, they're buying also your clientele. Okay. Right. Then the other thing, so I'm thinking about businesses, right? Building a rapport. One of my recent clients, his favorite uncle, right, was a Navy SEAL, right? So that I'm like, and he was like just a dream to work with, right? Awesome guy to work with, right? But how many people out there have a favorite uncle that was a Navy SEAL? There aren't that many Navy SEALs. That's the thing. Okay, that would I get the benefit because of what I've done? Borrowing that rapport that this guy had with his favorite uncle, and that's something, right? Okay, so what are the things I can do, right? Well, it's doing things, helping somebody with a challenge, and you may not get paid for it, right? You may, but you definitely are in their good graces, right? When you do something for somebody, help them get a job, all right, help them solve a problem, right? That can get you credibility, all right, and goodwill. That goodwill is golden, all right. Then he started talking about EBITDA, right, and that's an acronym. Okay, now it's a little more than net worth or net revenue. Okay, it's earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Okay, so you have to calculate that for your business to help you determine what that business is worth. Okay, so that was new, right? And then there's GAAP, generally accepted accounting practices. Okay, so this is. He started talking about this, and I see this all the time. People start a business because they got a skill or knowledge about something that they can make money at, and they don't have to have a boss. They're their boss. Okay, and so that's valuable. All right, that they but what they do with that revenue, that they just like spend it. I made a bunch, and I'm gonna go spend a bunch, right? And then they're out of money, right? or they allocating some of that. They pull out of it enough to sustain them from where they're at, to pay all their bills, and then set some aside for themselves and for the future, right? And then also have enough, like an emergency fund, for themselves and for their business. They got to have business has to have capital. Okay, so they got to, So, and then there's something I'm always looking at is the pipeline for where that business is coming from, and keeping it and maintaining that flow of business and customers. Okay, so these are all great information. He doesn't give all the answers, right? Because his business is a business consultant. He wants people to pay him for that information. Okay, so the hour and a half of each time I listen to this podcast, all right. Now I put it on double time, two times the speed, so I can get through it quicker. Probably the third and fourth time I listen to it, right? But I have to listen to it a bunch of times, and that time, I'm not. What else am I doing, right? That's valuable time. So it's got to be good information for me to have. And this was good information for me today. I mean, it caused me right away to think about somebody, Luisa Montalvo. She just did something that is golden. She won. She's the number one speaker for Toastmasters International for the whole world. Right now, when you know that in 2019 she was the first runner-up, she was number 2 in 2019, and now she's number 1. Okay, so she's got a track record of consistency in her ability to give an incredible speech, to capture the attention of the judges. I mean, she's given a compelling enough talk, all right, to reach that high level. Okay, that's golden. That's flat, incredible, right? She could take that ability and apply it to any opportunity that she has her mind set on, and it's gonna blow up. Isn't that something? That's incredible, right? And what she could do with it is to her imagination, to her desires, that skill, that ability. It's amazing, right? What she has created for herself, it's incredible. Okay, and then what she does with it's up to her, but she has the potential to do something even greater than what she's already done, which is great. All right, so that made me think of that, but also made me think of the people that I've told a year and a half, 2 years ago what they need to do, and they didn't do it. Right? Why? Well, because they're not ready for it yet. They haven't seen the necessity to do those things that they need to do, because the pain of not doing it isn't enough. Reminds me of the story of a guy had a hound dog laying on the porch, just going, oh, oh. And the guy said, "What's wrong with the dog?" He said, "Oh, he's laying on a nail." He's like, "Why didn't he move?" Because he's not hurting him bad enough, right? And the thing is what I try to do is help people before it hurts them too bad, right? And sometimes, it's not. Roy Jones Sr. used to say, when you learn lessons the hard way, they stay with you the rest of your life. You never forget them. But the problem is when you learn things the hard way, it's the hard way. There's nothing you can do with that lesson to benefit yourself anymore. That you've already experienced. All you can do is teach it to somebody else. That's what it does. So the best thing to do is learn from somebody else's mistakes, right? And that's what I try to help people do, right? Sometimes it doesn't hurt them bad enough. There's somebody, she's like the top trainer in South Texas for John Maxwell, Bridget Krause, and she has a way of talking about those mundane little things like getting caught in traffic on the way to work and the time and coming home and barely making enough money to pay your bills and the things, those little mundane things that are annoying, but they're just not annoying enough to make you do anything until somebody gets you to really look at them and you just get disgusted with it and tired enough that you do something about it. All right. And she's a master at that. Isn't that something? I think I got to get better at that. All right. Well, this is my critique of this week's podcast with Jason Cisneros. Just great information. You got to look at the cost of not having him as a consultant if you're a business owner, to what it would cost you to contract him to consult for you, and if he can reduce that cost of not doing it enough, or cause you to produce enough by consulting with him, then it's definitely worth consulting with him. All right, have a great day.